and added that they have extended full support to the passengers.
Have you ever wondered why two people flying the same route on the same day can pay hundreds of dollars apart for their tickets? The truth is, the airline industry is full of pricing tricks that can leave you at a disadvantage if you're not in the know. But with just a few insider secrets, you can turn the tables. Book at the right time, pick alternative airports, split your itinerary, or use incognito tools. In today's video, I'll reveal 12 of the smartest hacks to help you score cheaper flights, travel more comfortably, and keep more money in your wallet. Like and subscribe if this video was helpful to you. 12. Google Flights Explore tab. One of the most overlooked yet incredibly useful tools for finding cheap flights is the Explore tab on Google Flights. Most people use Google Flights to check prices for a fixed itinerary, departure city, destination, and travel dates. But if you're flexible and just want a great, affordable trip, Explore is your secret weapon. Open this tab, enter your departure airport and rough travel dates, and Google will show you a world map with destinations and their ticket prices. For example, if you're in Washington, D.C. and want to go somewhere for the upcoming weekend, just select Weekend Trip. You'll instantly see Orlando for $74, New Orleans for $96, or even Los Angeles under $150. What's cool is that this tool doesn't stop at flights. Google also includes hotel suggestions and even activities at your destination. So, with one search, you can estimate the full cost of your trip. For those who love go anywhere as long as it's cheap travel, this is like a compass pointing the way. Some deals don't even show up on other comparison sites because Google pulls data directly from airlines and agencies. Here's a tip. Try the flexible dates option instead of locking in a specific day. You'll see prices shift dramatically by moving your trip forward or back a few days. Sometimes, shifting by just one day can save you over $200. The Explore tab is your bridge to unexpected options. Best of all, it's free, easy to use, and feels like browsing a treasure map, where every glowing dot could be your next cheap ticket. 11. Flying from alternative airports. One trick many don't consider but can save you hundreds of dollars is flying from an alternative airport. In the US, many big cities have more than one airport, and ticket prices can vary wildly between them. Take Washington, D.C., for example. If you only search flights from Reagan National, DCA, you'll likely pay more because it's the central airport. But expand your search to Baltimore, Washington, BWI, or Dulles, IAD, and you could find flights hundreds of dollars cheaper with more low-cost airline options. Another case is Los Angeles. Everyone defaults to LAX, but Long Beach, LGB, Burbank, BUR, or Ontario, ONT, often have more competitive fares, less crowding, and faster check-ins. I once saw a round-trip ticket from LGB to Las Vegas for just $39, while the same route same day from LAX was over $120. This kind of price gap isn't rare. Of course, you need to factor in the cost of getting to the alternative airport, as it might be farther away. But even with gas or Uber fees, many still save significantly. 10. Airline credit cards. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to cut flight costs is using airline credit cards. It might sound complicated, but these cards can bring huge value if you fly often, or even just a few times a year. Most major airlines like Delta, United, and American Airlines offer their own cards, often with massive bonus miles when you first sign up. For example, the Chase United Explorer card can earn you enough miles for a domestic round-trip flight after meeting the initial spending requirement in the first few months. The benefits don't stop at miles. Many cards waive checked baggage fees for you and your travel companions, saving $120 per flight. Some offer priority boarding, so you don't have to scramble for overhead bin space. Others even include credits to cover TSA pre-check or global entry fees, saving you both time and money at security. If you don't want to tie yourself to one airline, consider flexible point cards like Chase Sapphire or Amex Membership Rewards. Their points can transfer to multiple airlines, giving you the freedom to pick the cheapest itinerary. You can even use points for upgrades, hotels, or car rentals. The key is to read the fine print. Some cards have annual fees, but if you use the benefits fully, the savings far outweigh the cost. With a bit of savvy, an airline credit card doesn't just make flying cheaper, it makes the experience more pleasant. Have you seen this trick before? 9. Warehouse clubs and gift cards. One lesser-known tip that can save you money right away is buying airline gift cards at warehouse clubs like Costco or Sam's Club. These places are famous for great deals on household goods and food, but many don't realize they also sell airline gift cards at a discount. For example, a $500 Southwest gift card at Costco often costs just $449.90. That means you save $50 instantly by buying the card first, then using it like cash to book flights. And the best part? Most of these cards don't expire, so you can stock up and use them for multiple trips. If your family travels a lot, combining multiple cards can add up to serious savings. Some airlines allow up to 5 cards per transaction. That alone could shave hundreds off your family's total travel costs. Plus, Costco Travel acts like a travel agency. They offer vacation packages that bundle flights, hotels, and even theme park or cruise tickets. These packages are often much cheaper than booking each part separately. Another perk? Car rentals through Costco Travel are almost always among the cheapest, and they usually include free basic insurance. In other words, these aren't just places for bulk shopping, they're powerful tools for travel savings. 8. Splitting your itinerary. One of the smartest ways to cut costs on long-haul flights is to split your itinerary instead of booking a single direct ticket. Many people just enter their departure and destination cities, then pick a straight-through flight. But in reality, buying 2 separate legs can save you hundreds of dollars. For example, instead of booking a San Francisco to Rome ticket for nearly $900, you could buy a San Francisco to New York flight for about $200, then a New York to Rome flight for $400. That's a total of just $600, saving you $300 for the same trip. The key is to be flexible and ready to connect the flights yourself. Tools like Skyscanner or Kiwi often show split tickets, or multi-city options, helping you spot cheaper combinations right away. However, when splitting your itinerary, you need to watch the layover time. Unlike a single ticket issued by one airline, if your first flight is delayed, the second won't automatically be rebooked. So, it's best to leave at least a few hours between flights to account for terminal changes, meals, or rest. Another perk of this approach? You can turn your layover into a mini trip. Instead of just passing through, you could spend a night in New York, London, or Istanbul, saving money while adding an extra experience. Many frequent business travelers use this strategy to work and travel without much added cost. 7. Price alerts. One of the easiest yet often overlooked ways to save on flights is setting up price alerts instead of constantly checking yourself. The truth is, ticket prices can fluctuate multiple times a day, cheap in the morning, higher at noon, and down again at night. Constantly refreshing websites not only waste time, but can also lead you to buy at a price that's not the best. Tools like Google Flights, Skyscanner, or Airfare Watchdog have incredibly useful price alert features. Just enter your desired itinerary, pick your dates, or a flexible range, and let the system track prices for you. When the price drops, you'll get an email or notification instantly. This is especially effective for trips planned months in advance. Instead of buying early and wondering, could it get cheaper? You can set alerts and wait confidently for the signal. I once saw a New York to Paris flight drop from $650 to $420 in a single day, and thanks to a price alert, I didn't miss it. Here's a small tip. Set alerts for flexible dates, like a day or two apart. Sometimes flying just one day earlier or later can save you hundreds. Also, if you live in a city with multiple airports, don't forget to set alerts for all of them, because the same destination can be much cheaper from a different airport. 6. Travel agent special rates. One lesser-known trick that can help you snag hidden flight deals is tapping into special rates only travel agents typically see. These days, many people book flights online, thinking they've accessed every deal available. But some websites let you peek into agency pricing systems. Kayak, for example, shows not just standard ticket prices but also a travel agent rates section, with extra promotions or discounted bundles most casual travelers don't know about. There are also services like Scott's Cheap Flights, now called Going, that specialize in finding cheap tickets. Just enter your home airport, and they'll email you whenever there's a killer international deal, like round-trip flights to Europe for $300–400. These are often mistake fares or flash sales that you'd struggle to find without a middleman. What's interesting is that agency prices can sometimes be not just a few bucks cheaper, but hundreds less for the same itinerary. Plus, some deals bundle hotels or car rentals at highly competitive rates. So, you're not just saving on flights, you're cutting the cost of your entire trip. 5. Mix and match airlines. One common mistake when booking flights is sticking to a round-trip ticket with a single airline. It's convenient, but not always the cheapest. In fact, combining different airlines for your outbound and return flights, known as mix and match, can save you a lot. For example, say you want to fly from Seattle to Miami. A round trip with American Airlines might cost $480. But if you fly out with Alaska Airlines and return with Delta, the total could be around $340. Same route, but you keep over $100 in your pocket. Tools like Kiwi, Priceline, or Expedia are great for this. They automatically suggest combinations of airlines to find the lowest price. Sometimes, you can even bundle hotels or car rentals for extra savings. Another bonus, mix and match flights often give you more flexibility with flight times. Instead of being locked into one airline's schedule, you can pick flights that best fit your plans while keeping costs low. The downside? You'll have two separate booking codes, and if one flight is delayed, the other won't automatically be covered. So, leave some buffer time, especially if you need to switch terminals. But given the price difference, many are happy to put in a little extra effort to manage two tickets. 4. Incognito browsing, VPN. One tip that sounds simple but makes a big difference is using incognito mode or a VPN when booking flights. Have you ever noticed that after searching for a flight a few times, the price jumps up even though you just refresh the page? That's not a coincidence. Airlines and booking sites often use cookies to track your search behavior. When they see you repeatedly checking the same itinerary, their systems assume you're really interested and willing to pay more, so they show you a higher price. The easy fix? Open an incognito window in Chrome or Safari and start your search from scratch. You'll be surprised to see prices drop back down, sometimes by tens of dollars. For an extra edge, try using a VPN. With a VPN, you can change your IP address, making the system think you're browsing from another country. In some cases, faking a European or Asian IP can reveal cheaper fares than when browsing from the US, as airlines may run region-specific promotions. One important note: always check multiple sources. Besides comparing on Google Flights or Skyscanner, visit the websites of airlines like Southwest or JetBlue directly, as their fares sometimes don't show up on search engines. By combining incognito mode, a VPN, and multi-source comparison, you'll get a clearer picture of the best deals. 3. Cheapest days and times to fly. One factor that directly affects ticket prices but many overlook is the day and time you fly. A lot of travelers assume the first flight of the day is the most expensive, but the opposite is often true. Early morning flights, typically between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., are usually cheaper and less likely to be delayed since they're the first departure, unaffected by the day's chain of delays. On the other hand, peak hours like 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., which mainly serve business travelers, often have the highest prices. If your schedule is flexible, try flying midweek instead of on weekends. Studies from Hopper show that Tuesdays and Wednesdays typically have significantly lower fares than Fridays or Sundays. This makes sense. Weekend travel demand spikes for leisure trips, while midweek flights cater more to business travelers, so airlines lower prices to fill empty seats. Another tip: avoid booking flights that fall on major holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Memorial Day, as demand far outstrips supply. If you must fly, book as early as possible or pick less popular times, like late night or early morning flights. They might be less convenient, but the fares are often much lower. To make it easier, try an app like Hopper. It shows a color-coded price calendar: green for cheap, orange for average, and red for expensive. One glance, and you'll know the best days and times to book and fly. This helps you skip the guesswork and make decisions based on real data. 2. Stopover trick. Here's a quirky but effective way to save big. The stopover trick, also known as hidden city ticketing. It sounds complex, but it's simple. Instead of booking a direct flight to your destination, you book a flight to a farther city that has a layover in your desired city, then get off at the layover. For example, say you want to fly from Austin to Chicago. A direct ticket might cost 216, but if you book an Austin to Kansas City flight with a stop in Chicago, it could be just 143. You carry only hand luggage, get off in Chicago, and save nearly $70. Websites like Skiplagged specialize in finding these flights. They show you the price gap, sometimes saving hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For instance, a Los Angeles to Honolulu flight might cost $2,600 direct, but a flight to Maui with a stop in Honolulu could be just $278. That kind of difference shocks many travelers. However, the stopover trick has risks. First, you can't check luggage, as it will go to the final destination. Second, this usually only works for one-way tickets, as skipping a leg will cancel any later legs in the same booking. That doesn't mean it's not worth trying. For simple, one-way trips with light luggage, the stopover trick is a smart choice. As long as you understand the risks and use it wisely, this hack can leave you amazed at how much you keep in your wallet. 1. Ideal booking time. One of the most common questions about snagging cheap flights is, how far in advance should you book to get the best price? The answer varies depending on the season and type of trip. But luckily, there's clear data from studies, and hitting the sweet spot can save you a lot. For example, for winter travel, especially during peak times like Christmas or New Year's, book about 110 days in advance. Spring is a bit more forgiving, but aim for around 76 days to be safe. Summer is different. With high demand but more flights added, you can book just 42 days out and still get a decent price. For fall, when many families travel for Thanksgiving, the ideal window is 77 days before. For international flights, the general rule is to book 8 to 10 months early. Fares to Europe, Asia, or Australia fluctuate wildly, so planning nearly a year ahead helps you avoid last-minute price shocks. A small tip: use tools like Google Flights to check multiple departure and arrival airports. For instance, New York has JFK, LGA, and EWR. London has Heathrow, Gatwick, and Stansted. Prices between these airports can vary significantly, and booking early gives you time to pick the cheapest option. These flight booking hacks aren't overly complicated. Just know when to book, pick the right days and times, try alternative airports, or split your itinerary. Combine tools like Google Flights Explorer, price alerts, incognito browsing, airline credit cards, and Warehouse Club gift cards, and you can save anywhere from tens to hundreds of dollars per flight. The key is to plan smart and stay flexible so you can travel comfortably while keeping your wallet happy. If you found this content practical, hit that subscribe button.